you'll find him hot on the trail of a feasible dog and a teasable dog with a candor tied to his tail. And the song that he roars to the shuddering stars is a worthy and excellent thing. Yet how could you hear him singing the song if there wasn't a song to sing? I've watched this ominous shape abroad in the land while the nation has slept, marked his satanical methods, tyrannical, rigorous, vigorous vigil I kept. Good gracious, voracious is hardly the name for it, yet we have only our blindness to blame for it. My dear, I've optical proof that he's prowling and growling at large in the land. Hear his pestiferous clamour vociferous, gurgles and groans of the beastliest brand. Some may regard his contortions as comical, but I've the proof that his game's gastronomical. Beware this obstreperous, leprous beast, a treacherous wretch, for I know him of old. I'm on the track of him, close at the back of him, and I'm aware his ambitions are bold. For he's yearning and burning to snare the superior into his roomy and gloomy interior. Such a shouting and yelling of hearty bravos, such a craning of necks and a standing of toes, seemed to leave never doubt that the tinker's last rhyme had won him repute mid the Glugs for all time. And they all said the rhyme was the grandest they'd heard, most especially those who had not caught a word. But the mayor said peace, and he stood without fear as the leader of all to whom justice was dear. For the tinker had rhymed as the prophet foretold, and a light was let in on the errors of old. For in every line and in every verse was the proof that Sir Stodge was a traitor, and worse. Sir Stodge, said the mayor, must go from his place, and the Swanks, one and all, were a standing disgrace. For the influence won o'er a weak, foolish king was a menace to Gosh and a scandalous thing. And now, said the mayor, I stand here today as your leader and friend. And the Glugs said, hooray! Then they went to their homes in the suburbs and town. To their farms went the Glugs, who were bearded and brown. Portly Glugs with cigars went to dine at their clubs, while illiterate Glugs had one more at the pubs. And each household in Gosh sat and talked half the night of the wonderful day and the imminent fight. Forgetting the rhymer, forgetting his rhymes, they talked of Sir Stodge and his numerous crimes. There was hardly a Glug in the whole land of Gosh who'd a lenient word to put in for King Splosh. One and all, to the manifest surliest dog, were quite eager to bark for his worship of Quog. Forgotten, unnoticed, Sim wended his way to his lodging in Gosh at the end of the day. And 'twas there, to his friend and companion of years, to his little red dog with the funny prick ears, that he poured out his woe, seeking nothing to hide. And the little dog listened, his head on one side. "Oh, you little red dog, you are weary as I. It is days, it is months since we saw the blue sky. And it seems weary years since we sniffed at the breeze, as it hums through the hedges and sings in the trees. These we know and we love, but this city holds fears. Oh, my friend of the road, with the funny prick ears. And for what may we hope from his worship of Quog? Oh, a bone and a kick," said the little red dog. 10. The Debate. He was a Glug of simple charm. He wished no living creature harm. His kindly smile like sunlight fell on all about, and wished them well. Yet, spite the cheerful soul of Sim, the great Sir Stodge detested him. The stern Sir Stodge and all his Swanks, proud Glugs of diverse grades and ranks, with learning and attainments great, had never learned to conquer hate, and failing in their ABC, were whipped by Master Destiny. Thus 'twas that Gosh's famous schools turned out great hordes of learned fools, turned out the ship without a sail, turned out the kite with leaden tail, turned out the mind that could not soar because of foolish weights it bore. Because there'd been no farther joy to guide the quick mind of the boy away from thoughts of hate and blame, wisdom in these was but a name. But mid the Glugs they count him wise who walks with cunning in his eyes. His task well done, his 3 rhymes writ, Sim rose at morn and packed his kit. At last he cried, off and away, to meet again the spendthrift day, as he comes climbing in the east to bless with largesse man and beast. Again the fields where wild things run, and trees all spreading to the sun, run not, because of all things blest their chosen place contents them best. Oh, come, my little prick-eared dog. But "Halt!" exclaimed his nibs of Quog. "Nay," said the Mayor, "not so fast. The day climbs high, but sinks at last. And trees all spreading to the sun are slain because they cannot run. The great Sir Stodge, filled full of hate, has challenged you to hold debate. On Monday in the market square he and his swanks will all be there, sharp to the tick at 2:30, to knock the stuffing out of you. And if your stuffing so be spread, then is the cause of Quog stone dead. In this debate I'd have you find with all the cunning of your mind sure victory for Quog's great cause, and swift defeat for Stodge's laws." "But cunning have I none," quoth Sim. The Mayor slowly winked at him. "Ah," cried his worship, "sly, so sly!" Again he dropped his dexter eye. "I've read you though, I've marked you well. You're cunning as an imp from hell. Nay, keep your tempter, for I can withal admire a clever man. Who rhymes with such a subtle art may never claim a simple part. I'll make of you a Glug of rank, with something handy in the bank, and fixed opinions, which, you know, with fixed deposits always go. I'll give you anything you crave, a great high headstone to your grave, a salary, a scarlet coat, a handsome wife, a house, a vote, a title, or a humbled foe." But Sim said no, and ever no. Then shouted Quog, "Your aid I claim. For Gosh, and in your country's name, I bid you fight the cause of Quog, or be forever named a dog. The cause of Quog, the weal of Gosh, are one, amen. Down with King Splosh." Sim looked his worship in the eye, as solemnly he made reply: "If 'tis to serve my native land, on Monday I shall be at hand. But what am I 'mid such great men?" His worship winked his eye again. 'Twas Monday in the market square. Sir Stodge and all his swanks were there, and almost every Glug in Gosh had bolted lunch and had a wash, and cleaned his boots and sallied out to gloat upon Sir Stodge's rout. And certain sly and knowing Glugs, with sundry nudges, winks, and shrugs, passed round the hint that up on high, behind some window near the sky, where he could see yet not be seen, King Splosh was present with the Queen. "Glugs," said the chairman, "Glugs of Gosh, by order of our good King Splosh, the Tinker and Sir Stodge shall meet, and here, without unseemly heat, debate the question of the day, which is, however, let me say, I do not wish to waste your time. So first shall speak this man of rhyme, and when Sir Stodge has voiced his view, the Glugs shall judge between the two. This verdict from the folk of Gosh will be accepted by King Splosh." And when, like teasing vagabonds, the sly winds buffet sullen ponds, the face of Stodge grew dark with rage when Sim stepped forth upon the stage. But all the Glugs with one accord a chorus of approval roared. Said Sim, "Kind friends and fellow Glugs, my trade is mending pots and mugs. I tinker kettles and I rhyme to please myself and pass the time, just as my fancy wandereth." "He's mine," quoth Stodge below his breath. Said Sim, "Why I am here today I know not, though I've heard them say that strife and hatred play some part in this great meeting at the mart. Nay, brothers, why should hatred lodge?" "That's ultra vires," thundered Stodge. "'Tis ultra vires," cried the knight. "Besides, it isn't half polite, and e'en the dullest Glug should know 'tis not pro bono publico. Nay, Glugs, this fellow has no class. Remember, vincit veritas." With sidelong looks and sheepish grins, like men found out in secret sins, Glug gazed at Glug in nervous dread, till one with claims to learning said, "Sir Stodge is talking Greek, you know. He may be mad, but never low." Then those who had no word of Greek felt lifted up to hear him speak. "Ah, learning, learning," others said. "'Tis fine to have a clever head." And here and there a nervous cheer was heard, and someone growled, "Hear, hear." "Kind friends," said Sim, but at a glance the cute Sir Stodge had seen his chance. "Quid nuncle," he cried, "O noble Glugs, this fellow takes you all for mugs. I ask him, where's his quid pro quo? I ask again,